I'm alone, I'm a broken home, and you are the bricks that I'm letting go. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want to friendship and find a home, but if you want to travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of pain. Go away. I'm tired of distance. I fell, but my demons down. All right, all right. Let me turn that off. There you go. Welcome back. Oh, let me see if I can turn this on. We're going live. Yes, sir. You are on time. Well, a lot of you have realized I have been here for the past couple weeks, but that's because I got busy doing stuff. A little traveling. Remember last time we spoke about side hustles and projects. So, Paula, um, I was working on one of those projects as well. So it took a little bit of time, and I got a little bit sick in the midst of it all. So last week I didn't want to come on in a coughing fit and freak anybody out. So I just, took the time and worked on some other stuff. But I appreciate anybody who reached out to me to find out if I'm, alive or dead or whatnot. Clearly, I'm still alive. It was just, a couple things came up, so that occupied a little bit of the time. But I do hope you can hear me. Good night, Mr. Jai. And we can get started here. So you see, I'm always working on the tech side of things, learning a little bit more about this application that I'm using, which is StreamYard, which I told you guys before. We are broadcasting in three places actually today. Um, Again, it's just me kind of learning about it as we go. We're broadcasting on Facebook, on YouTube, and then I have my phone, which is here, that's doing the IG because apparently when I use the StreamYard and broadcast the IG, people tell me the background or the framing around it comes out weird. So I haven't really had time to mess with that. But the new studio piece that I built is almost done. I'll be adding the other parts to that probably this week. So maybe next week I'll show you guys what that entails, what that looks like, and it'll be able to let me change from where I'm sitting right now with this background. We can have outside. We can roll. It's mobile. We can roll over to the boards, and I can start using the whiteboards again. But yeah, there's things are always on the go, right? Um, Again, I really like the feedback when people call me and talk about these after. Hello, good night, Nadine, and it kind of helps me with the things to talk about and the things that we keep talking about throughout time as things go by. I was talking to somebody the other day and we were talking about back when I started this. So and that conversation went back to October, right? It was October when I did this the first time, and I was paired with a friend of mine who kind of encouraged me to get on and start talking. And getting on and talking, the biggest conflicts were It's weird talking to myself. But as it got on more and more, it's more of me. Oops, it's more of me just talking, and there are people that would like to come on and talk with me, and there's a lot of people that are afraid to come on and talk to me. Well, come on and talk with me live. They'll wait till it's done and call me. And we'll talk for an hour, 2 hours. They'll call me during the week. A lot of people don't necessarily see it live, but they catch the replays, and then they give me their feedback, their comments, and they give me other topics to talk about. So one of the big ones that a lot of people keep asking me to talk about, which I'm not going to, is relationships. Because the whole Kevin Samuels thing. I'm a big fan of Kevin Samuels. I watched a lot of his stuff, and I liked it. I know the parts that relate to me, and a lot of people don't like his stuff, but I do, and that's all that matters. And I'm not trying to be him, so I'm not really going to go down that path. But I have had conversations around that with people one on one, and the only way I would actually do that on the live is with a panel of people. That's the only way it'll work. Being one sided and having the conversation, it's at least too much room for misinterpretation. We really don't really want that. And yes, that's a part of everything I'm always talking about because it's a piece of your own life, right? All of the things that make up your life, but it's not the most important. So, I mean, as I said, I will gladly sit and talk to somebody about it if they need. Hold on a second. Let me just put this on mute so it doesn't do that throughout the whole time. Okay. And we'll go back to what tonight's topic is. So, tonight's topic. Oh, let me take off this. Was anybody reading that, scrolling at the bottom and attempting to lick your own elbow? Oh, that was only the people on Facebook or YouTube because that won't show up on IG. If you did, just let me know in the comments that, yeah, I can do it or I can't because most of you cannot. It's like it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But it doesn't really stop us from trying, seeing if we can get it done. Well, let me position this a bit better. But yeah, so let me turn that off. Again, it's all in good fun. It's all in good fun having this stuff. Here we are. We are. Wait, I changed this. Why is the date wrong? I did fix it. Let me change it again. It's 6/17/22. It's almost summer. Imagine that. It is almost summer. Uh, wherever you are, I'm not sure what it's like. Yesterday, it was like 40 degrees Celsius with the humidity out here yesterday. And right now, it's freezing cold. It's windy. It's cool outside. I can tell you what the temperature is. Let's see. Current temperature 16 degrees Celsius. And imagine it felt like 40 degrees yesterday. So that's like a 24-degree drop. How did I figure out that so quickly? Know your math. Keep telling you guys that. Everything is about the numbers. Know the math. Um, but yeah, the title, everything. You know what? I fixed all this stuff. I don't know what happened to it. That's a good thing to test. So, oh, there we go. So tonight's topic. Let me just stop all that. Jump into the topic. Tonight's topic is titles. What is your title? We're going to talk. We've talked a lot about the things you're doing outside of your job and how to do things, how to change things, analyze, look at things around you. But tonight's topic, we're going to talk a little bit more about your job. For those of you that have jobs, right? And again, this stemmed from a couple conversations I had throughout the course of this week. And the titles. What is the importance of the title? Is the title important? Right? And as long as you're working for somebody, for another company, you are employed with a title. Your offer letter has some sort of role description, some title around there. And that title is usually paired with a compensation rate, which is your pay, right? The importance of titles when you're working is the change in title generally changes the pay. So while you're at work, you are chasing the title change. Once the title changes, it comes with a lot of other things. There's different responsibility, the workload changes, the title changes. You go up to the next role, which should also come up to the next rate. And that's the purpose behind it. So you start your job at year one doing position A. At the end of year one, you reevaluate with the company. You get you want to go now and be part of position B, take on the more workload. You have the experience, which means get more pay. If they're not going to give you more pay, do not take the role. Don't take more responsibility. 1 year is more than enough time for any company to be aware of what your contributions are. If you feel you're justified for the role, go for it. Get the next title. If that is what is important to you. Like, what is the end goal, right? When I tell you, anything you do today, all the decisions you make today are for your life 5 years from now, 5 years in the future. That's where you'll see the impact of the choices you're going to make today. Around things like not what you had for dinner today, but I mean around things like where you're working, what you're doing, are you going to school, are you training more, that sort of that development of yourself from that side of things. And if you see yourself 5 years from now, for example, running the department you're working in right now, that's definitely feasible. So it's like, well, what do I need to do? You have to have the plan, right? We always talk about the plan. So in the 5 years, what do I need to do? Do I need to do some training? Do I need to get some sort of certification? How many titles are in between where I am right now and running the department? And every time I make those increments, how quickly can I make them? Can they be 6 months? Does it have to be 1 year? Does it have to be 2 year? You kind of got to figure out how it works, have the plan together, and that's it. Execute it one step at a time. So I still slight cough. Tonight's drink of choice is iced tea. Right. One step at a time. You just keep going. Ask yourself, what are you chasing? Because the pay is private. That's only you know about it, right? But the title is public. The title changes your view of your peers at the office or at the facility or wherever the work environment is, because now they're aware that you have a different title, right? Let's use IT for an example, right? Most places IT, you're going to come into IT as some form of a tech is the entry point, right? You're a technician, you're supporting something, network, application, hardware, something around the whole IT end of things. What is another role you can go through there? And I'm only telling you that because I have experience with IT. I use that as the example, but it goes for anything. What is the next role you can get? Do I need certifications to take the next role? How much is the pay difference? Because it's always about the compensation. It is always the compensation. If you're happy with the compensation you're making, you will never strive to change your role, change your title, get that increase. But we're all programmed that you go to work and you go to work and you excel at your job, and you should be rewarded for excelling at your job because your responsibility is to further develop the company. The company's responsibility is to further develop you the longer you're employed there. Part of that is you changing your role, changing your responsibilities, changing your rate of compensation. All of it works hand in hand. And I've touched on this briefly throughout many of the conversations we've had and the lives that I do every week. Still working on getting them, a little bit more frequent. It's going to happen. It just takes a little time to make it all come to life because of the other things going on. But back to what we were saying there. Um, what you're chasing, why you're chasing it, it's important, right? And if you're once you get to that point of the visibility of your peers now looking at you at the next step. So let's just fast forward that 5 years. You are now the manager of the department, right? You're the manager of the department. Fast forward, you did everything. You went through your pay increase. You went through your role increase. You're now the manager. Your role is different. Your peers are viewing you different. You are now responsible for maybe bringing in new people, training new people, expanding the department, having that impact. That's great. You've developed yourself at work. So there's a good skill set that comes with that. But as you excel in the corporate structure, right? We'll call it a corporate structure. There are not only responsibilities that you have at work with your employment, there's also social responsibilities that you have, things that you have outside of work that in a lot of cases you don't realize they relate back towards your work. What am I talking about? How does that even make sense? Well, a lot of things. To become the manager, right? At in that 5 years, because like I said, the decisions you make today, the impact is 5 years from now. So if you think back of yourself 5 years ago in this story, how did you dress when you came to work? How were you groomed when you came to work? Right? What were the things that you were doing while you were on that journey to get to leading the department, right? Being the manager now. And now that you're the manager, what has changed? How do you dress when you go to work? Right? What are you what are your habits at work? Like your practices are different. Bringing lunches, going out for lunches, having client lunches, meeting clients, bringing clients to the office, going to client sites. There's what are you driving, right? All of these things all go hand in hand with climbing up that ladder. And if you think, no, that's not true, no, I don't have to do that, you're absolutely right. You don't. You do not have to do any of it. You can always remain who you are. The problem is you'll limit your own growth. Let that sink in for a minute. And the only reason that you won't develop outside of your job is because of you. It's a stubborn thing. I don't have to. I can be me. Of course, you can be you. You can always be you. You can be the best at what you do right now. How do you accelerate? How do you go to the next step? How do you go to the next level? What do I have to change to do it? Something as simple as how you talk, the words that you use, right? You're the manager. Trust me, you can't go sit in the office and talk like a sailor or a trucker. Doesn't work. Once you decide you want to lead, you have to lead by example, right? The strength of your department, the visibility of your department, because you're the manager now, right? It's entirely on how you lead it. You want to be the leader, here's your chance. You're leading. What are you going to have them do? What are you going to change, right? What makes your department stand out from all the departments that make up this organization? What are you doing differently? Impact. The impact is important. That's and as I said, these are things that are happening at the job. These are things that are changing with you over time. Now, one of the biggest things is your social life. And they're like, well, my social life has nothing to do with my job. You're absolutely right. It doesn't. Until you have to do something for the job as you're growing in the job, right? You're the manager now. You're going to want to go to the next level. You're going to want the next title, right? You're going to want to get from manager management to upper management. You're going to want to get to the executive committee. You're going to want to get to the senior executive committee. You want to get COO. You want to get presidents, VPs, presidents, COOs, CFOs, all depending on what your field is, right? The corporate game, it's a game. It's a game you have to learn how to play. You need to know how to talk it. You need to know how to walk it. Most importantly, you need to know the plan. Where do I want to go? How far do I want to take it? Right. And when I was talking about the outside now of the office, things you have to look at, is like, what are you doing outside of the office? And the field we're discussing here is the corporate structure, right? Corporate structure means that, well, are you playing golf? Do you know how to play golf? Do you want to know how to play golf? Now that is both men and women. I was at a lunch today, with a group from my office, and they the conversation turned to golf, and it was two of the ladies talking about it. One that didn't know how to play, one that had to go to an event that was going to take her to teach them how to play, to help her, kind of just fit in. I don't know how to play. The other gentleman there says he's played, but it wasn't really a topic of discussion for us. Not that it matters. Anybody can play, right? But as I'm saying, you want to start moving through these different levels. You need to understand, well, what things are being done at that level. Let's go a little further into this, right? Let's say that you want to go out and party with your friends, right? You're out at a party, all hours of the night. Everybody had a great time, good time, and all of a sudden, some altercation breaks out, right? And that is, look at the news. Look at what's going on in the world. This is a normal practice everywhere, right? So now you can just be caught up, wrong place, wrong time. Some altercation happens. Do you get involved? Are you forced to be involved? What what are the things that surrounded the event, the altercation, whole thing? Was it a bunch of drunken people? Were, were you one of the drunken people? Did somebody get charged? Did somebody get injured? Whatever the case is, right? So you went out, you had this good time with your pals, everything was great. Whatever altercation we got into, it's over, it's done with. We all went home. It's now the next day. No problem. The next day, we're back in the office. Now, what are you looking at this on right now? You are looking at this on a social platform. How many times do you sit and look at recordings that people make of videos, and it's a big joke, it's a big laugh, ha 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 ha, good for them, that didn't happen to me, I wasn't there, I wouldn't get involved in any of that, all that, jibber jabber, we'll call it. All right. Now, somewhere along the line, this gets back into your office. What do you do? How do you handle that situation? Oh, well, it's my personal life. It has nothing to do with anything. You're absolutely right. Until you want to start playing the upper level games. So, like I said, the corporate game is a game. It's either you want to play or you don't want to play. There's no in between. And if you want to play, you have to take all those things into consideration. Something happens, there's some altercation, whatever the case is. What do you have to lose if you get involved? Is question number one. Because what you have to lose is directly related to your job, right? What do I have to lose if I don't get involved? This is now the social standing with the people you're at that given moment in time. How are my social peers, friends, family, my pals, how are they going to look at me if I don't get involved? And then if I do get involved and it goes sour, goes bad, and somehow this gets back to my job, what do I have to lose there? At the end of the day, the only thing you can really lose is your job, right? But then losing your job can change a lot of things. Number one, you've spent time in that plan that you've created with your career path that you're working on, taking those steps to the job. And now, let's say you're halfway through, it's lost. You threw it away because of somebody for a night out having a good time. You had all of the right intentions to enjoy yourself, just caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. This is the result. You're put in a position to make a choice. All right. So let's say now nothing happened. No fight, no altercation. Everything is great. I was out with my friends. We were all drinking, having a good time, uh, whatever it was, dancing, partying, whatever the case may be. Now, again, let's go right back to the same thing I said. Here is a social platform that you're watching this on. Let's say that one of the patrons at whatever this place was doing that. You're caught on it. Maybe not necessarily in the best light, maybe in the fine light. Maybe it's you and, a table full of bottles because you're there with your friends. We're having a good time. We're drinking, enjoying ourselves, right? This somehow circulates back into the office. And now this is something shown about you. Nothing happened. You didn't do nothing wrong. You're here. You're at work. You're separating your personal life from your work life. Absolutely fine. The only impact is if you want to keep climbing up, those things can't show. What does that look like? Well, that's easy. Look at the politicians. What is the one thing they're always looking for? What is it? They're looking for some kind of a scandal. Yes, you're not the president of the United States. You're not the prime minister of Canada. Right. Yeah, I get it. But these little choices can still have a large impact on the life you're trying to live because that's the life that you mapped out based on that career path that you're following, right? That's the thing with titles. And how important are they? Are they important? Do you want them? Right? And this is where I'll tell you the titles that go at the front of your names are the ones that go at the companies that you work for, right? Be the manager of blah, 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 right? That's you. Are those the titles that you want? Are those the titles that matter? Everyone's got their own definition of what those things are. I mean, there's a general blanket statement for every one of those roles. Every role you can think of, there's a general statement for it. But there's also your interpretation of it. How important is it to you? It's not about how important it is to me. It's how important is it to you? right? I have my plan, I have my path, I'm doing my thing, I'm working on my stuff. You have to work on your stuff, right? What we're doing right now is we're talking about it just to get you thinking about it. Understand the importance. Because right now is the youngest you're ever going to be. Wait, you're now a second older. Time just keeps going. Tick tock, guys. Tick tock. It just keeps going. It's not waiting for you. You know, you're going to blink. You're going to be at that point of retirement. Whatever you decided that to be. Whether it was 25, 35, 45, 55, 75. No retirement. Work till I die. Or different people have different views of it. You got to figure that out. Like I said, from the very, very beginning, plan. Everything is about the plan. Every move is about the plan. Every day has its own plan. In the grand scheme of the big plan, the big plan is the life plan. In that plan is a series of small plans that make it up. These are the accomplishments that happen throughout time. It's a fixed time. You're born, you're gonna die. Fixed time. It's a guarantee you're gonna die. The when? Nobody knows. But it's gonna happen. Unless you're, you know, magically immortal. Which as much as some of us seem to think we are not. Superman syndrome. Nothing can happen to me. Oh yes, it can. And that can be when you least expect it. It can happen. So live for today. But don't forget about tomorrow. Because tomorrow's coming. It's coming. The hope is that you're going to be here to live it and enjoy it. But in case you're not, at least you live today. You can't focus all of your time on working. And I believe me, I've heard it. You know what? Sacrifice the next 5 years of your life so that, you know, after that, it'll be set for everything. Absolutely. There's a lot of truth in that. But imagine you did that. You gave up everything and everyone for 5 years. 5 years. Doesn't seem like a long time. 5 years later, it's not a long time. But running through that 5 years, it's a good piece of time. And at year four and a half, that's it. You don't make it to the next day. Then what? What did you lose? What did you leave behind? I get it. I get it. It's about the payoff in the end because that's the purpose of doing it. But what are you trading for the payoff? And that's why, one of the things I say is you got to live in the middle of it all, right? There's nothing wrong with sacrificing things for the bigger picture, for the end result. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But live in the middle of it too. I mean, don't go crazy and don't forget about what you're trying to do, but live a little as well. Oh, this thing is going crazy. Here, check this out. I built this. You know me, building all the cool stuff. Let's see, that one doesn't. It's pretty cool, right? Yeah, I like that, huh? But yeah, there you go. It's an arc reactor. It's an arc reactor. You know, some Stark Industry stuff. But that sums it up in a nutshell, right? The titles. The titles. Do you want the titles? Do you want the titles that are in front of your name? Do you want the titles that are at the back of your name? The ones that show up at the end. That's the title you want. And I assure you that that title of manager of blah blah blah, which you were, you get working for somebody else, the one you want is going to be your name and the title after saying entrepreneur. I always tell you guys, find your own show, start your own show, run your own show, whatever that may be. If you don't know what it is, great. Take some time and think about it. Are you going to come up with something? Probably not. Talk to the people around you. They're not helping you? Call me. Talk to me. We can always figure it out. What can you do in the meantime? I mentioned this the last time we were on. What is the skill set you have right now? How can you maximize the skill set right now while staying at your current job? Everything is possible. It's who you talk to, it's who you keep around you. I tell you this all the time. All the time. It's important of who you're keeping around you. What's that? Whatever that means. Yeah, you gotta work for it, of course. The figure out how you can capitalize on what you're doing right now. Use it as a starting point. Just sitting around doing nothing will give you one simple result. Nothing. If you get up and you go to work every day and you spend, let's say, we went through this before, but I'll give you the quick rundown again. So you get up, get dressed, do whatever, shower, get ready, and you're out. Let's just throw out there 1 hour of traveling. I don't know what that says, Jai. I don't. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. 1 hour of traveling. You get to work, spend your 8 hours a day, 1 hour to get back home. There you go. There's your 10 hours a day, right? For 5 days a week. We're going to stick to one day, though, right? So 10 hours a day out of the 24. Okay. How much of that 20? So 10 is gone. That's work and commute. Now you're home. Now we're not going to throw in family, wives, children, pets, none of that stuff. Just stick to just you, and we'll call them distractions aside just for a minute, right? 10 hours a day is work and commute. You get home, you still have 14 hours. You need to sleep, right? Now, I know we can get by on minimal amounts. We can. But over time, that burns you out. Oh, Zelch. Oh, I get it. Oh, all right. So I would have said it right. I just didn't know what you're trying to say about it. Anyhow, so let's go with 7 hours of sleep. Realistic for some, unrealistic for others. We're just going to use that just for the sake of this explanation. You've got the 17 hours now. There's still 6 left. Okay, so let's take an hour out for getting ready before work, right? What's that? We're 17, 18, 6 hours left. Let's do an hour to unwind when you get home. 5 hours left. 5 hours. What did you do with that 5 hours? Okay. Let's say I need to. So forget the unwind and the get ready time. Those are done. Those are done. So what's left? Well, I need to watch my favorite TV show, or that's my thing. I need to do that. Right. We were down to 5 hours left. Right. 5 hours were left. Right. 5 hours were left. So let's say we were going to take an hour. We're going to go now focus on our health. We're going to the gym. Lexus up. She's going to just be barking for a moment. She'll stop. See how she can hold down, stop everything? She can halt the whole world just by barking, waking up and running over there. But, okay. So we have our 5 hours. We took 1 hour. We're going to go to the gym, get on it. We're going to feel better about ourselves. No problem. 4 hours left. Okay, I need to watch my favorite TV show. It's my thing. It's just what I do. I need to watch the TV show. No problem. Everybody's got their thing that they need to do. Let's say another hour. Okay. Still got three left. What can we do with these three? Okay. I want to educate myself for my job. Okay. Let's throw an hour into that. I got about two left. What am I going to do with that two? Take at least one. Focus on you. 1 hour a day. And don't tell me you don't have it. If you don't have it, lose 1 hour of sleep and give yourself that. Take that 1 hour, focus that 1 hour on you, not on your phone, not on anything. I gave you time to eat. Remember, I gave you that 1 hour when you got home? And clean up? Just clean up yourself. An hour is enough time to have dinner and clean up, right? I said there's nothing else. It was just you, right? So there is time there. Somebody says that they don't have time. I promise you, you have a time management problem. And if you need help to map that part out, just give me a call. I'll have the hard conversation with you. It doesn't bother me. I can tell you the things that hurt your feelings. I'm absolutely okay with it because I'm not afraid of you. You'll have these conversations with people that are afraid of you, so you can stay in control of it. Right? You're always going to win. They're going to have to listen to what you have to say. Nobody has to do that. The hard conversations, you have to have them. Somebody has to tell you. Sometimes you have to feel really, really bad about yourself to understand that you need to change. And, I have conversations with myself all the time. But some people, when they have the conversation with themselves, they are still buttering it up. They're painting the pretty picture, making it all nice. It's not really helping you when you need to make changes to things. Change is important, it's part of progress. Absolutely. Absolutely, Jai. That's the magic word right there. Procrastinate. It's two things. One is procrastination, the other thing is prioritizing. What is important to you? Is it important to do things differently? Either it is or it isn't, right? Think of it like eating, right? What are you eating? Are you just going to be eating crap all the time? If you eat crap all the time, you're probably going to feel like crap all the time. How do you solve that problem? Change one piece. Change one thing. Just one. Let's use eating as the example, right? Say I eat out all the time. Fast foods, so it's burgers, fries, and drink. Change one of them. Swap out one of those three things. Well, obviously, you're going to need a sandwich, right? So keep the sandwich. Swap the fries for something else one day. Swap the drink for a better drink another day, right? Simple steps, simple things. Don't don't ever draw yourself up a plan that you cannot stick to. Something with an unrealistic timeline. Results? No results are unrealistic because anything is possible. But it comes down to what are you willing to do to get it? Are you willing to stick to that hardened plan? Right? Like the one person comes and says, well, I want to retire in 2 years. All right, cool. Have you given that thought? Yeah. And then I start asking them the hard questions. And it's only then that they realize they thought about nothing. It was just talk. Who are you talking to that's impressed with you saying you need to retire in 2 years with no functional plan, with holes all over it? Who does that affect? Nobody but you. All of this stuff is about you. All of the stuff I keep coming on here and talking about, I talk about a lot of things that I've been exposed to, things I've been involved in, things that have happened to me, right? Some things might relate to you, some things might not. It's okay. I'm only speaking from my own experiences. You have your own. But don't look at the context and take something specific and say, well, oh, that could be me or that is me or what. No, no, no. Think of the circumstances around the thing you wanted to pick. Why does that one piece relate to you? What are the things that are happening around you for that to make that occur? Trust me, conversation is an excellent thing, right? You should have constructive conversation with people, with someone, with a group of people. Sharing conversation is, and you know who the right people to talk to are and who the wrong people are, right? When you're having these conversations, a lot of times they're personal conversations. And people will talk to me because they know I don't, that's only a conversation I'll have with them. I don't need to have the conversation with anybody else. I'm not talking anybody's business. It's not my method, right? But you should talk to understand your situation, understand where you are, understand what you want to do. Maybe what you want to do is unrealistic. And as I said, it's that somebody being able to ask you the hard questions, somebody making you uncomfortable enough to answer them. Because it's either one thing's going to happen, either you're going to answer it to that person, but more importantly, you're going to answer it to yourself. Because if you run from it, it's you that realizes that was a dumb move on your part, right? But you don't know that if you don't map it out, if you don't talk about it, if you're not constantly revisiting the plan, looking at the plan, making sure that the plan is on track, right? And remember, life, right? Life, the whole big segment. It's a series of small plans in between that sum it up, right? Jobs, relationships, family, um, you know, um, expenses, the finances, uh, traveling, all of these little pieces, right? And everybody's pieces are different. I mean, yeah, we'll all have some concepts that are the same. Some things are the same, but you might have some parts of your life that matter that aren't a part of mine because they don't matter to me. And there's nothing wrong with that. No two of us are identical. We're all different. We have similarities, but we are all different. Remember that. I hope I said one thing that made sense to you. Just one. That's good enough. If 10, great. If one did, that's good. If nothing related to you, that's okay too. Because you could end up talking to somebody else and be like, well, wait a second. What they're talking about, you might not know how to help them with and be like, hey, I was watching Dez's Friday Night Lives and he was talking about this stuff. Reach out to him, or not you reach out to him. Let's reach out to him. He's really nice. He'll probably say, come over, let's have some drinks and we'll have a talk. And drinks can be anything: coffee, tea, iced tea, liquor, beer, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. We can go meet somewhere, have the conversation, have drinks. Get out there, get out in the world, see the place. The place is opening up. Interaction, interaction, interaction with people. It is important. So, with that, we are what? We're almost an hour. Clearly, I'm rambling a lot more than normal because that's the same thing that happened last time. Last time we were over an hour. Either that, or I'm just becoming more comfortable and telling you more and more and more and more. I don't mind. If you want me to shut up, somebody just write a comment. Be like, just shut up already. I'm not going to listen to you. I have thick skin. I can take it. But it's there. Use it. Utilize this. Quick summary: the titles. How important are the titles to you? What title do you want? Do you have a plan in place to get to the next title? How many titles are needed to get to the end? A plan. Here's the most important thing. Here's the tip I'll give you before I go. Most important tip for any plan is a plan must have two things on there. One is an end date, and two is an end goal. What is the goal? And I keep telling you guys, work on your math. It's always about the numbers. No matter what. No matter what it is, it's always about the numbers. Work the numbers. Watch it all come to life by working the numbers. Nothing else. Just work the numbers. And when I say work the numbers, that's not just money. Yeah, money is measured in numbers. Absolutely. Everything is measured in numbers, not just money. So when I say work the numbers, is you're going to look at all of the numbered segments of the plan: time, amount, right? Time is going to take, time you have to invest. Your goals are your goals, they're nobody else's. Nobody else has to understand. It is your path, it is your journey. You got to walk it. Just because I'm here, we're sitting here right now doing this together. A year from now, what happens if we're not? Then what? Then what? What do you do then? Take some time, establish the plan, create the schedule. I'm going to revisit this plan every 3 months to make sure we're on track, make sure things are going the way it needs to go. Or do I need to adjust my plan? Do I need to extend the timeline? Do I need to extend the effort? What needs to change? And then, okay, once you figure out what needed to change, now the question is, why does it have to change? Why didn't these things come up when we initially started putting the plan together? What gaps? did we have? What was missing? So now we're going to create the new plan, excuse me, or modify the existing plan. What are the parts I need to change? The lessons that got me here to having to make these change, how do we apply that in the future so we don't have to redo the plan again? Absolutely, what's working and what's not working. So yeah, that's that. I will, like I keep saying, I'll try to come on some more, shorten it up in between, and which I probably will because one of the groups that I'm in, they are working on building something, and they asked me to participate in helping them do some mapping to get some feedback, um, and they asked asked for me to my opinion on that because of this, because of me coming live talking to you guys on Fridays. I said, sure, I'm down. I'd like to get involved. Why not? It's more experience. Learn something. I already know the people, so I know I'll enjoy talking to them. Be a part of something. Be a part of tomorrow, not just a part of today. Remember that. So, Lex has gone back to sleep. Uh, I got some work to do tomorrow. Oh, yeah. You're going to see that. You're going to see the upcoming stuff sooner or later. We're going to do some interesting live stuff sooner than later. But yeah, I got a big day stuff to work on tomorrow, and we will all talk soon. As I said, anyone who needs to have a conversation with me, reach out. We can always set up something. We've got so much technology now. It doesn't matter where in the world you are, right? We can have video calls, virtual. We can make a lot of things work. Um, just reach out. It's no big deal to me. Any feedback, send it over. Oh, I forgot to ask this earlier. I hope it wasn't a nuisance. It was really windy here, and I have the door open just over there. So I'm hoping there wasn't any kind of crazy wind noise coming through the mics. If there was, I apologize. And, and I'm upset with all of you that were commenting it and nobody told me. So, yeah. With that, I will let you go. Go pour yourself a drink, grab a snack, which I normally tell you this beforehand. I didn't. I'm sorry. And take a moment and think about it. Take a moment and think about, the stuff I talked about. I hope it triggered some thoughts for you. And give yourself some reevaluation. Take the weekend. Clarify your thoughts, right? You're going to be going back to work, in most cases. Monday, you're going to be going back to the office, back to the job. And we're like, well, am I in the right place for me, for my plan, for where I want to go? And that's the job, that's the company. Then, okay, what is my opportunity path here? Is there somewhere for me to go? Or am I here just killing time? And if I'm killing time, how can I maximize me killing time here? Right? And then as well, why am I killing time here? Right? Like I said, we can always talk about it anytime you want. And anybody who wants to jump on live and have the conversations, it should be working. Um, but we'll eventually get to that. I'm pretty sure we will. I'm learning more and more tips and tricks about how to put all of that together, both with people in different places, but I'm more so trying to do it with people sitting here. We'll just have to get Lex to stay under control. She's are you awake? We'll get Lex to make an appearance. All right, good idea. I know exactly how to do it. In one quick second. Let's see if we can get her to show herself. Hey, Lex. Okay. Come. Here she comes. There she is. Okay. There she is. Saying that we woke her up out of her sleep. Oh, what's there she is. Oh. I know you can hear her chew. See if you can get her to chew. She's too far away. The cable's short, so well. Oh, next week's her birthday. Why don't you get Lex for her birthday? There you go. Give me some. Post some suggestions in the comments of what Lex should get for her birthday. She's gonna turn 4. She's been here a long time, 4 years, and she is a stroke survivor. She had a stroke the day before her 3rd birthday. Here she is, big and strong as ever. So, shoot over those messages. Give it some thought, guys. Thanks for everyone who stayed on till the end. It's always a pleasure to see you guys jump on and be active in the comments and questions. I like it, as well as the after the fact comments and stuff. It's great. Keep them coming. If there's anything I should change, by all means, make this a suggestion. Let me know. I'm open to it. And thanks for showing your butt there, Lex. Good job. All right, there she is. And I will see you guys in a few days. Let's see. Let's play something. Yeah, let's end it off. End it off.